All right, just a few hours ago, Iowa removed gender identity protections from its civil rights code.
Governor Kim Reynolds signing the bill into law this afternoon, one day after the House and Senate both passed it. We're taking a live look now at Iowa's state capitol in Des Moines, where supporters and opponents of the legislation have testified and demonstrated throughout the week. Now, the new law also explicitly defines female and male as well as gender.
Now, the move comes in Iowa as President Donald Trump has issued executive orders removing federal funding for gender transition procedures for anyone under 19 and banning transgender athletes from participating in women's sports. Supporters say these measures protect kids, their parents' rights, and fairness in sports.
News 8's Nora Reichert spoke with transgender people here in the Quad Cities about how they say this legislation is impacting them right here at home.
If you start to feel nauseous, lightheaded, dizzy, anything like that, let me know right away, okay?
On a winter afternoon in downtown Davenport, 57-year-old Aiden Vasquez is in the artist's chair at the Cryptic Visions tattoo shop, ready for some new ink.
There's no battle that's going to be won by fear. And that's why I decided to get this tattoo now, because I was like, this is kind of like my badge of honor now.
The design is an important one for Vasquez. A transgender man, in 2019, he sued the state of Iowa to get his gender-affirming surgery covered by Medicaid. Following a years-long legal battle, the Iowa Supreme Court ultimately ruled in his favor.
I'm not choosing this surgery to make myself look better or look a certain way. I'm trying to match what I feel in here and know in here. So it is life-saving.
But for some, that care is becoming more difficult to access. President Trump signed an executive order removing federal funding for gender-affirming care treatments for anyone under 19 years old. Iowa has already banned the care for anyone younger than 18. Supporters of these policies worry about long-term health and parental rights, but members of the trans community see it differently.
He's trying to divide us. He's trying to blame trans people for all the mistakes in the world.
Scott Feeker is a member of One Human Family Quad Cities. Since Trump's inauguration, the group has been holding rallies and trying to help local trans people with things like finding medical care or a new job.
We are going to overcome this by reaching out, being a good neighbor, caring about friends.
Another member, Esther Wint, is currently studying English, creative writing, and theology at St. Ambrose University. That's also where she started her transition.
It was definitely scary sort of initially stepping into that water, but I can safely say I've been boatloads happier ever since.
But outside of that joy, there's fear, too. Wint worries that legislation impacting trans people such as herself won't stop there.
It's just so dangerous to other people who want to experience the world in different ways that aren't the ways we've been sort of taught in movies or just history.
That's a concern that Marcy Toll, a transgender woman from Burlington, shares.
We are under such relentless attack. We are beset upon by people who I think are largely ignorant and willfully ignorant of what we are and what we represent.
Plenty of Iowans are making their voices heard. The outpouring of support is encouraging Iowans all the way on the other side of the state.
Being willing to take a more active response, being willing to sort of stand up for my rights, but the rights of any trans person, especially trans youth.
But I have plans, and none of them include dying right now.
Yeah, this is cool.
And that's a message Vasquez can relate to. If the new artwork on his chest is anything to go by, his fight is far from over.
We have to be strong, because being afraid is not going to win this whole battle. Take your fear and anger and turn it into fight.
In Davenport, Nora J.S. Reichert, WQAD News 8.
And what you just heard tonight is just the beginning of all these stories. You can learn more about Aiden, Scott, Esther, and Marcy's journey at WQAD.com.